Hi to all of you. Hi, Laura. Thanks for the brief introduction. I hope you all had a nice lunch break, even at home, in front of your screens, or in Zurich, wherever you are. Yeah, let's talk about transparency in direct marketing. I'm sure that everybody has this one story or moment from their childhood that they can still vividly remember to this day. For me, thinking back to those days as a little boy, unfortunately, these days are far gone. I can still remember this dissent I had with my mother over and over about what lying really was. For me, as a little boy, it was crystal clear. A lie was like telling somebody something that simply wasn't true, right? It's easy as that. For her, it was a bit differently. She insisted that even not telling the whole story, meaning leaving something out of the picture, it's basically the same thing, also a lie. And honestly, as a little boy, this never occurred to me. I just didn't get it. Today, having a little kid myself, I have to admit, okay, she definitely had a point there. I'm Thomas. I work at Zattoo as CRM manager. I'm the only CRM manager there. For those of you not familiar with Zattoo is a TV streaming service in Austria, Germany, and Switzerland that operates a freemium subscription model. So basically, you can opt for a 30-day free trial, which then renews into a full price subscription at the end of the 30 days, unless you deactivate it in your account settings. And I've been working in CRM for quite a while now at different companies. But this story from my childhood has been with me ever since in my professional career. And I use it as a kind of tool to reflect on how we are communicating with our customers. Because at the end of the day, we want to build long-term, lasting relationships. Like in any good relationship, honesty is a vital ingredient, especially if you want to build trust. So for example, I keep asking myself questions, like looking at my funnels and at my user flows. Like, are we really telling the whole story here? Are we maybe a bit too biased about this or that change that we've made to the app? Could there be different interpretations of the same message, for example? Could we add to transparency in favor of the customer at this or that point? So questions like that. And in that sense, at Zattoo, we had a test idea in one of our weekly growth hacking meetings. We wanted to send the customers a reminder email at the end of their free trial period, basically reminding them about that they're going to pay in 3 days, unless they deactivate automatic renewal in their account settings, as I've just said, because we knew that automatic renewal in itself came at the price of upset users. We just didn't have a clue how many they were. But of course, we were also aware that by sending this reminder, we would risk increased churn. But at this point, the working hypothesis in the team was that firstly, less upset users is always good, right? And B, all the remaining users would reward us for this increased transparency, like by this added peace of mind, with probably increased retention, and thus higher customer lifetime value that would eventually make up for the increased churn. Interestingly, this idea didn't make the cut as easily as other ideas. Maybe because everybody loves ideas that make users happy, right? But probably just a tiny bit less when revenue is at stake. Oh, and by the way, let me know in the comment section if you have experienced similar things in your daily job life and what your take is on this. The way we at Zattoo finally got everybody on board was to change the test setup slightly, and as well as the hypothesis. So instead of hoping for increased retention afterwards, we decided to make a big deal about reminder right at sign up. This is what it looked like in the end. We decided to insert 2 lines on our shop page, basically saying, okay, there's no risk. Sign up for a free trial. We remind you 3 days prior to renewal. There's no risk of stepping into any payment trap. So there's your added peace of mind right there. This is what we did. And on the right side, you can see the email we were sending basically reads, "Dear customer, your free trial period is about to end. If you don't want to end up in a full price subscription, then please deactivate automatic renewal in your account setting at any point." And we tested this idea as an A/B test in Germany for our signups in the web shop. We did a clean A/B test, 50-50 split. We looked at 5,000 signups in the original funnel and 5,000 signups for the reminder funnel. As you can see, for the original version on the left side, we had 5,000 users entering this funnel with a conversion rate to free trial of about 16%. This is our usual conversion rate. This was expected because obviously it changed nothing. And at the end of their free trial period, 54% of these users converted into their first paying month. This was also like any other month, nothing out of the ordinary. For the reminder flow on the right side, you can clearly see the conversion rate to free trial went up by 34%. 34% uplift. That's quite significant right there, to 20.7%. And then looking at the end of the free trial period, after we had sent the reminder, the renewal rate dropped to 49.7%, so that's a negative uplift of -9% there. A bit higher than expected, to be honest, but the real takeaway, of course, here was when you look at the number of users ending up paying for the first time for Zattoo, you see 514 users in the reminder funnel compared to just 420 in the original funnel. This meant for us at Zattoo that we were able to increase our sign up to first payment rate from 8% in the original funnel to 10% in the new variant. So that's a result we happily accepted. For those of you who are familiar with growth hacking, you know that the next test is always just around the corner, and we're currently experimenting with this approach even more. The test I've just talked about was already in 2019. Now we're experimenting with recurring renewal reminders. So even after your first renewal into a payment month, going forward for your second and third payment month, and we're closely looking at retention. And we are aware that we probably have to retest this whole mechanism next year, because we've undergone quite some significant changes in our product structure and pricing structure in the recent past. Coming back to my initial story from my childhood that I've told you. Yes, as a marketer, I have to confess, I've been guilty of making things look prettier than they were, definitely. And there are manifold reasons for this. But the way I deal with it, or what I've learned, is just don't neglect it, but reflect on it. Look at your user flows, look at your funnels, and constantly ask yourself, where can we add transparency in the favor of the user? Because as a CRM guy, I truly believe that your customers will reward you for it. And even if it looks like you're losing revenue or users at first sight, just dig deeper and try to find the one opportunity or one KPI that justifies the change. Trust me, it's there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That was really, really interesting.
I hope so.
So from Gemma in the chat, we have some feedback on the question you asked regarding what KPIs are looked at. And she wrote, unfortunately, so far, they always look ultimately at revenue as a main KPI, whatever experiment they do. So do you have some tips there, maybe?
Yeah, this was the big hurdle for us as well, because you will find resistances within the management teams mostly as soon as you raise the test ideas like that. And as I said, the only way to overcome these hurdles are usually to find the moments where you can make up for that revenue that you're apparently at first sight losing. And we fortunately found that moment. For me as a CRM guy, well, of course, I've got revenue in mind always. Part of my job, but at the same time, I could have coped with losing a bit of revenue because I always have the long-term perspective in mind. I mean, happy users talk nicely about your app. Upset users don't. You get the picture. But of course, it's always difficult to get that across to people who mainly are concerned about the numbers or about the immediate results. Let's put it that way.